Morning, welcome to the 171st podcast of Andy Collier-talks cricket memorabilia. Now this week the postman didn't knock at all this week, so I'm getting a bit slack, but hopefully he'll be dropping some bits off next week, so I'll have to wait and see. But what I thought I'd do this week is to just go over the bits I put on the website or the Facebook page of the Spirit of Cricket collecting, which is going very well. I had some nice replies this weekend, so hopefully you've enjoyed watching those if you're on the Spirit of Cricket Facebook page. But first, just when I was going through the cupboard yesterday, I've got a pile of these here, which were from Norman Hood. He did a limited edition caricatures of quite a few famous players, well, all the famous players actually. This one's 19 of both of them. I won't go through them all. We've got Alan Donald there, screaming. David Gower, so I suppose I could still get these signed actually, which is a nice one. Norman signed them at the bottom here. This one is 63 of 100 of David Gower. Darren Gough there, there. 64 of 100. So he's obviously sold quite a few of these. Andrew Strauss there. There's Andrew Strauss. Just do a couple more, which is Graham Gooch there. He's number 10 of 100. Dickie Bird there. And there's Alex Stewart there, so I'll probably get that signed at some stage with his wicket keeping gloves on. One more for luck. Who have we got there? Ricky Ponting. I think the only one I can't get signed out of this lot is the one at the back, which is W.G. Grace. I think, so a quick look at W.G. Grace. Clive Lloyd's there, so there's W.G. Grace. There's W.G. Grace caricature by Norman Hood, and that is 78 of 100. So just a nice little, we've done quite well. These pretty good artists, Norman Hood there, so quite an interesting little pile. So let's just go on to the stuff I put onto the Spirit of Cricket Facebook page, and one of them was this lovely scorecard here, which is 1861 down at Broadwater, which is my ground. It's later changed to Farncombe Cricket Club, 1938. This is the All England v 22 of Guildford and Godalming, or Godalming and Guildford. Played at Broadwater on September 2nd, 3rd and 4th, 1861. That's a lovely scorecard there. It was actually printed on the ground by T. Chennell, who was a local printer, who was still going up to about 20 years ago. I think I walked past the shop, so quite a nice one there. But this is a lovely card here. We've got in the England 11, you've got Richard Daft, who we'll talk about in a minute, Julius Caesar, Anderson, Hayward, Parr, Captain F. Marshall. He actually owned the ground along with Broadwater House. He was a local timber merchant, the great stalwart of Surrey cricket, great benefactor. And he actually had Farncombe Station built so he could get the players to Farncombe quicker by rail rather than horse-drawn carriages. Wiltshire, Tinley, Foghorn Jackson and George Tarrant down the bottom there, so it's a lovely scorecard. And then for Guildford and Godalming, Thomas Lockyer played for them up the top there. But this actually belonged to George Baker, this card here. He's a fella down the back, and then he actually got 1, 2, 3, 6. He got 8 wickets, or 9 wickets in the England 11 when they batted twice. So he's quite a famous player, really. Well, not quite in the likes of George Parr and stuff, but he's a good local cricketer. And I got this off one of his relatives when it was come up at Christie's, and they got in contact with me, wanted to know where it went. So we'll just come back to Farncombe, which is my club, and they came down to watch a game when I was president of the club, and met them and what have you. And it turned out that he wished to be a master at Charterhouse School, which Julius Caesar at that time was a coach, or a bit later on was a coach at Charterhouse School, and his wife was part of the Robinson Glasgow family. I think it was a niece. I don't think it would go as far as a granddaughter, but I think it was a niece. So quite a bit of authenticity going with that lovely scorecard from 1861. And then a couple of years later, we got Julius Caesar, who was up here just up here on the left here. You see, so this is the team that went to Australia, George Parr's team, 1863, left from Liverpool. This was taken at Lord's just before the party left for Liverpool to sail to Australia. That's a rare one of the two photographs from that period. Lovely original photograph there. So the next one I put on was this one here of J.P. Ford's team to North America, led by Richard Daft again. Ford was something to do with the Nottinghamshire Town Council and had dealings with North America. So he got a team up of Notts players and Yorkshire players. And basically they were one of the first invincible team. They never lost a game. And the last game they played on the tour was between Notts and Yorkshire, which I think Notts won that time. So a lovely card there, sort of a carte de visite card, but that's actually a photograph or image stuck on there. So it's quite a nice rare card of 1879. Nice survivor. And another thing I put on there the other day was this lovely set of Australian Olympic team of 1932. It came in that, I've shown the lovely autograph book before, but it's a lovely set there of signatures from the Olympic team. And there's the Olympic team there. I managed to pull this off the internet a while ago, and there they are there in their baggy greens. I think finances were a bit tough, so they didn't send a massive team over there. I think there's, how many's in that team? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16 in the team. So not as massive as they are these days, but lovely baggy green they've got on there. So that's those ones, so that's nice. Lovely autographs in there. Now the next one I showed in the week was this lovely original or pages out of the Illustrated London News. And this is the team that started all the Ashes off, that beat England at the Oval in 1882. It's a cracking image, that one. Just goes to see Bonner at the top there, big lad he was, and Harry Boyle there, got rather a large cricket ball in his hand there, looks somewhat like a cannonball, but it's a lovely image, that one. And then going to move on to the same sort of thing, which is one of yesterday's ones, which is the 1880 first Test match at the Oval, when England won by 5 wickets. It's a fantastic image, this. Not a print, I think it's a drawing. Lovely one there of the gasometers there at the back at Surrey. W.G. Grace is bowling there. And then we've got the winning scenes here, which looks like everybody enjoyed themselves on that one. That's another nice image from the London Illustrated News of 1880. And then I also put on this lovely original ink drawing of Don Bradman, which was used, it says here, on the Cricketer magazine, April 1982, signed by George Broadhead. Don Bradman there with a lovely ink drawing. It had it nicely framed quite a few years ago. This was one of the first Bradman items I actually bought. That's quite nice, that one. Different anyway. And then the last one I put on was this lovely one of a Belden picture, a signed one of Stanley Jackson, super thing. Captain England 1905, won every toss, had quite a good series there. So that's a lovely image there of Stanley Jackson. Got his Yorkshire cap on, I think, and coming out to drive. I think that might have gone a long way if he got hold of that ball. So a nice image there of Stanley Jackson, taken by George Belden, obviously the famous photographer of sporting images. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the 172nd one next week. Cheers.